Good morning, Pratik. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I have got my little one with me. I am about to run to the gym, but I really wanted to connect with you and hear about your story. So first of all, the reason why I guess I contacted and asked you for this is that you have got an amazing journey applying so robust and heavily from India, and now have landed in an opportunity or a position in Dubai. And I would love to hear your experience and your journey.
Morning, Trisha. Thank you for having me here. First of all, I followed you on LinkedIn extensively over the last 6, 7 months, and it's always been motivating to read what you share, and also your work that with impressive CV, which I followed as well. So yeah, glad to be here. And I would say it's been a difficult journey because. I was in a really good place in India. I was working for Reliance Geo, the organization, and I was handling their brand marketing, Geo Haptic, which is the B2B firm of Reliance Geo, and I was handling brand marketing for them. Things were good, but I believed that I needed a change, and thing was I did not want to uh, move to a new job in the same country. I started to look outside, and UAE was an option, which I did zero in on, I would say. It's because I had a couple of friends here. They told me, how it is here, and how long they've been here. So all that encouraged me, but it was super difficult because mostly every time I used to ask someone or speak to someone about getting a job here, the first answer was that you need to come to Dubai and you need to search for a job here. So that was the first answer I used to get, and it's very difficult to get it from where you are at home, especially in this situation when COVID is rampant, and work from home is there, and so all this was a bit discouraging, but I still tried and went ahead with applying for some roles through LinkedIn, which seemed to suit my profile, I would say.
Fantastic. I just would like to take a step back. So I believe you were in talent or HR at the beginning, right? And you've also got a degree that you're working outside of your degree at present?
No, so I actually did my engineering, but my post graduation was in the field of communications. And so I started in the field of public relations, CopCom, but now I'm more into marketing, and digital marketing and events and communications.
And so
So
just walk us through how you made that transition, because a lot of job seekers out there generally have maybe an undergraduate degree, bachelor's, and then perhaps they do a master's degree and then end up in a position that is completely different or maybe a little bit
yeah,
sidestep. So just walk us through what your story or what you did.
the usual way, I mean, how engineers at least do it, in India, there are millions of engineers. They do engineering and then they do an MBA, and, they get into HR or marketing or finance. And it's a complete shift from your domain. So for me, when I was in engineering, I did realize that that's not a field I see myself in as, a career. And I don't think I can code and, test behind the desk for 8, 9 hours a day. So during my engineering phase is when I realized that I need to do something which is a bit more in the creative field, and that's where I started looking for options, and communications and media, journalism as a field is what interested me. And that's when I'm my postgrad. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's really great. And I think, it's encouraging to hear that it's doable. I mean, it's not just a dream, and it's just if you put your head in the right space and you really are strategic and focused on that career transition, then you can brand yourself as your next interest. So long as I guess you've got the, the skill sets and the confidence to be able to do so. So I wanted to ask you, you were applying on offline or online, I should say, through various job boards such as LinkedIn, and you were applying for positions from India, right? You didn't land to Dubai and then begin applying. Just walk us through that.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So there was an interview I did in the early phase of 2021, which was with a company in Dubai, and that was going well. But unfortunately, that position went on hold, and that was very heartbreaking for me because I actually thought that that would materialize. Post that, there were a few interviews that I did in the next 6 months, which through LinkedIn, I got a few opportunities to interview with organizations in Dubai. I would say around 3 interviews that I did. For some or the other reason, they didn't work out. One of them needed an Arabic speaker in particular. A couple of the positions didn't work out. So yeah, so I think at the end of that phase, I started to lose hope mostly. I thought that it's not going to happen, and the only way is to come to Dubai and get a job. But the thing was, I wasn't ready to do that and give up. So I still thought that you can give it a bit more time, and that's when I think the end of 2021 is when there were two opportunities that came my way, and I was interviewing for both, and I got offered a job from both of them. So, funnily, the first one that I got, the job offered, I rejected that because the organization, I mean, it just didn't fit with the profile I had. And when I rejected it, I actually felt really bad because I thought this was my opportunity gone, but I couldn't accept it as well. And a week later, the second opportunity came sometime in November, and I accepted the offer.
Fantastic. That's really good. I think it shows that you're empowered yourself, you're confident in your abilities, and you're really willing to take the right opportunity once it lands, which, to be quite honest with you, a lot of job seekers, maybe they don't have that confidence. They would just sort of say yes to get their foot in the door and get to Dubai ASAP. But then at the end of the day, maybe it might not look good for your career trajectory or your CV, and of course, your own ethical values. So yeah, really well done on that front. I just wanted to touch base again. You came back to the interview process. So how were you landing interviews? Were you following up with recruiters? Did you change your LinkedIn to listed as Dubai, or how did you get the interviews?
Actually, all those hacks which you say, which you also share, on LinkedIn, that maybe you should change this in your CV or you should change this in your profile. Those things. So yeah, I mean, I did try them. Following recruiters, that was the number one thing. You follow recruiters in companies that you wish to apply for, or in recruitment agencies. Through Dubai, there are so many. I mean, at least the named ones, like Robert Walters or Kingston Stanley, these guys. You follow the domain recruiters who hire for marketing. For me, basically, it was to find recruiters who hire in the marketing or communication space. So you follow them and you see, because generally they post about jobs on their profile regularly. So you look at that, or you just message them saying, hey, I want to connect. I just want to follow your work and follow the kind of jobs that are coming in the market. And that's how it was, but it's a very tiresome process for sure. You every day you can lose hope because you see, like, nothing's happening, and a few days later you'll get a message from someone, and all of a sudden you feel that, yeah, maybe something could happen. So that's how it is. But yeah, you just want to continue and not give up, because it's very easy to give up. So yeah, that entire process is tough. But I would say, as you mentioned as well, follow recruiters, follow the right people, and just keep looking for jobs that are specific to your domain, because as you said, it is very easy to fall into the trap. Okay, I'll take this job, it's fine, I just want to get into the market. But again, is that actually helping your career, is the other question you have to ask yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I fully agree with you, and I'm aligned on that. I guess, can you just walk us through the interviewing? So, was it a one process interview, or did you have to say, for example, have 3 different interviews, and what were the types of questions that you were asked? And yeah, just give us some insights into that.
I would say generically how the interview process was, that there was an initial conversation, which was about yourself and your role, and about the company and its role that it's offering. There was a second round, if everything's good, where it's more about presenting a plan or a strategy. Like, there were two interviews that I did, which was for this digital marketing and marketing role. And after the first initial intro round, it was about, presenting a plan for the company. Like, give us a 3-month strategy on how are you going to, say, generate leads for the business, or do webinars, or increase social media reach, that kind of plan. So you prepare a 3-month plan, which basically covers everything. So the two presentations that I did was covering everything from website to doing SEO to social media to events, to even lead generation, all of that. So make a 7-8 slide presentation, and that's the second round, where you share and then you present that to the concerned person. And if that goes well, then there is a third round, which was more like a final round, where the discussion happens, and then you discuss salary and other stuff. So that was the process. But there was one interview which was just the one round, and they said, yeah, we're good to hire you. So that was the position which I mentioned that I had to let go. So yeah, even that happens. But I would say generally it's a 2-3 round process at least.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely. And I'm getting the same feedback from other clients, and even more from a C-suite or aspiring leader, up to 5 rounds. So I think it's really important that people are prepared. It's not just, a meet and greet call or a one-off interview these days, especially because the market's quite saturated. You've got so many people coming from India, Pakistan, these regions, already people located in Dubai wanting the next opportunity, one level up. So yeah, talent pools are quite big. Fantastic. You've given us some really, really great insights. What would be some of your sort of major tips in closing?
Major what?
Tips and tricks, advice.
Okay. The first advice is obviously to stay motivated. You can easily lose motivation. I'm just talking about if you're applying from your home country. That's the primary thing that you got to do. And the second is you got to keep at it on a daily basis. If you're really serious about doing this, follow people like yourself, just to understand how the market is. What is the job situation, are there jobs in this particular field, what is the kind of salary range that companies offer, who are the recruiters that you need to follow, and how do you, because a lot of times people feel a bit, I would say, shy to contact someone on LinkedIn. And even it was the same with me in the beginning. It was like, should I really message someone I have no idea about to talk to them? But that's how it is. The platform is such, it allows you to do that, right? And you should do that if you want to take that chance and opportunity. So yeah, following people like you. I also I think there were people like Sohaib that also used to post a lot on LinkedIn and give advice. There are YouTube channels as well which talk about jobs, but yeah, it's mostly about just having your head in the right space and knowing that what you want to do, and then eventually you'll get it. I believe that, but you have to be patient.
Inshallah, as they say. Fantastic. I absolutely love your optimism, your drive. I think it's so important that, not to be giving up and really understanding what you want. Many job seekers, they're applying for like 50, 60 jobs daily with the one CV and just not really being focused and strategic. So yeah, I think you've given some great advice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time this morning. And if there's any more thoughts or comments before closing, otherwise I would like to thank you really sincerely once again.
No, I mean, thank you for having me. But yeah, one thing which you mentioned about the CV, right? That people apply for 20 jobs with the same CV. And I think you also mentioned that a lot of times you have to you have to modify your CV as per the job requirement. Obviously, if you're applying, say, only for marketing jobs, which is fine, but every company has a different description, and you have to be able to, have your CV match that description, or at least know if you've done those kind of roles, or taken those responsibilities. So that's important. Even if you apply for, say, one job a day, it's fine, but I just feel you should do it right.
Fantastic. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you once again. I'm going to head off to the gym, start the day nice and fresh. And please, let's keep in touch. And I really wish you a fruitful career in the next, in the near future. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you need any support.
I will. Thank you so much, Trisha, for having me. Love your work and always will keep following.
You are most welcome.